Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye. Ashtaprajeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavatyuttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishthiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. This is gone. They are not there, I think. Huh? Okay. I can speak in English or Hindi, bro? English is all right for everybody?
How many English?
English or English? English? English is good for everybody?
English, Hindi,
There are not many old. Everybody looks very young here. Huh? Yeah. So all of you have arrived here for the new year. I heard that you have been coming here last 2-3 years or so. Is it true?
4 years.
4 years or so? Amazing it is. Very good.
Every year we have new families getting added.
Okay. Oh, is it? That's very good. So some of you can tell me in one word your experience in Govardhanaka village. One word only, okay? Let us take from Prabhuji, some from Mataji. Whoever is ready. It's not compulsory for everybody. Whoever. Blessed. Yes. One word. Peace. Okay. Yeah. Bliss. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Transcendental. This side. Blissful. Yeah. Purity. Okay. Divine. Very good. Ecstasy. Okay. Very nice. Service. Yes. One more. One last. Yeah. Spiritual. Very good. Very nice to hear your experience here. See, the 1 year is ending and the new year is beginning. When anything new begins, like for example, if a new child is born, immediately there is Jataka Sanskar. Then following that, there are many more sanskaras also. So sanskar actually means a purificatory ceremony. So when New Year is beginning, we can actually look back. How did we spend our last year? And how would I like to spend my new year? Both we can think about. Because our scriptures say that our life is like a book with 100 chapters. If you live for 100 years, life is like a book with 100 chapters. So each chapter has 365 pages. So you will understand that it is like 1 year or so. Isn't it? So if you are, how old are you?
I am 14.
Yeah, 14 now. So he has completed 14 chapters of the book. And he has another 76. 76 chapters. Blank pages. Fresh to write. Correct, no? So the good news for us is the blank pages, where we can write very legibly, neatly. And then when we look back to the previous pages written, generally when we begin writing any notebook, the first few pages are very legible. Everybody knows that. Generally children do that, correct? After that, the writings become very illegible. So when we are children, we are pretty innocent and simple. As we grow up, certain unwanted acquired qualities cling to us, because of which our legibility goes off. So again we have a chance to look back and again write legibly. Again. That opportunity is always there. Life has always, between birth and death there is always choice. Between B and D there is C always. This choice is always there. So therefore every new year it's called as Simhavalok, we call it. There are 2 avalok, Simhavalok and Vihangavalok, 2 avalok we call it. Simhavalok means when a lion is running behind a deer or something, it will stop for a while and check whether my pace is good enough. Am I keeping pace or am I slow in catching my prey? So he will look back, how much distance have I covered? and also how much distance I have ahead to cover. So that is called as Simhavalok, we call it. Avalok means glance. And Vihanga Avalok means seeing from the top. Vihanga means what? Bird. Bird's eye view. So bird's eye view means to get an overall picture of your life. And Simhavalok means getting a picture of your pace. So, like we have a pace in spiritual life, we have a pace in material life, both. Correct, no? So we can see how we are going in our life. Actually, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, every Ekadashi we should do this, according to him. In a month, how many Ekadashis we get? 2 Ekadashis. So after every 15 days, you should see that how was my chanting in the last 2 weeks. So on Ekadashi day I will chant nicely, and coming 15 days I am going to chant better. How was my association in the last 2 weeks? Did I miss many programs or I attended many programs? And coming 2 weeks, so he says every Ekadashi you should do this kind of, what do you call it? Like taking a survey of our life. Some people do it weekly also, they do it, some people. But at least once in 2 weeks, one should do it. What items we should check for surveying? The first 3 verses of Nectar of Instruction. Anybody knows? Let us see who can recite the first verse of NOI, Nectar of Instruction. You can recite? Okay. Very good. One applause for Mataji. She recited the whole verse, yeah. Okay, second verse, who can recite? Full verse. I think Matajis are more ready than Prabhujis. Any Prabhujis? They are defeating Prabhujis. Any one Prabhuji, second verse? She will recite very easily. You want to recite? No. Anybody want to try second verse? Begins with? Atyahara. Anybody? I think Mataji must have done a NOI class for them, correct?
They have done in Bhakti Shastri.
Bhakti Shastri they have done. Okay. Others might not have done Bhakti Shastri. Okay, we will give Bhakti Shastri chance, one more chance to another Mataji. Anybody else? Okay, yeah. You say. Exactly, yeah. One more applause for her. So 2 verses are done. What is the third verse who can say? Utsahan. Anybody knows? Third verse. Okay, you all have done only 2 verses, I think, is it? Yeah. So, okay, these 2 verses, you can tell me the 6 items, because some Prabhujis don't know what are these verses these ladies are reciting. They want to know what is the meaning of these verses. So, what is that first 6 items? Vachavegam means urge to speak, and Manasavegam, mind's demands, and Krodhavegam, everybody knows, anger, and Jihvavegam, tongue, Udaravegam, urge of the belly, Upasthavegam, urge for opposite sex. And the next verse, Atyahara, over accumulation, and Prayasa means over endeavor. Atyahara Prayasa is a Prajalpa, gossip, useless talk. Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha means following the rules and regulations in a ritualistic way, not for spiritual advancement, or not following them. And Niyamagraha. Janasanga? Association. Yeah. Bad association. Janasanga. And Laulyam? Greed. Yeah. So these 12 items are negative items, and there are 6 positive items, which are hope-giving items. Actually, there are 2 more verses. The third verse is Utsahan means enthusiasm. And enthusiasm is defined as endeavoring with determination. Endeavoring with determination. And then Utsahan, Nishchayat, Dhairyat. Dhairyat means patience. And Tattat Karma Pravartanat. The regulative principles, following all the rules and regulations. And Sangatyagat, again, giving a bad decision. And Satovrite, following the Acharyas. So these are all positive items. There are 6 more positive items. Giving gifts to devotees, accepting gifts. Giving prasad to devotees, accepting prasad. And revealing mind and confidence to devotees and hearing from them. Or seeking inquiries and learning from them. So these totally, how many items totally? 24 items totally in these 4 verses. So these are the items we should check every Ekadashi day. You can look back and check how it was in the last 2 weeks, and in the coming 2 weeks how I will be. So the new year is also a similar opportunity for us to take a look at our own lives, and also when you see the Srimad Bhagavatam, we will speak a few words today about what type of attitude that Kunti Maharani is teaching us, which is very conducive for our material life, spiritual life, both lives actually. One of the first qualities she exhibits is humility. Generally speaking, in this world, everybody thinks I am best, others are inferior to me. Generally people think. But she is saying in one verse, please all of you repeat this beautiful verse, it's worthy of meditation. Tada paramahamsanam muninam amalatmanam bhakti yoga vidhanartham katam pashyema histriyah. She's saying, my dear Krishna, I am only a woman. I am not very advanced, she's telling. On the other hand, the Paramahamsas are all pure devotees of you. And they are always, thinking of you, remembering you. Even at one moment, they don't forget you. Their hearts are clean. So they can see you, and I am not qualified to see you. Actually, Rajagopalachari also wrote one song, which became very, very popular in Tamil Nadu. The song, Korayandrum Illai, Marimurti Kanna, you know that, correct? Na? Yeah. I will tell you the meaning of the song. It's such a beautiful song it is. She is saying, my dear Krishna, you are asking me what I want from you. I don't want anything from you, he says. Why? You have given me more than what I can expect from you. How? He is saying, you know Vijaypur, you have heard this? Yeah, you know Tamil? Correct. Kurayundrum illai Marimurti Kanna Kurayundrum illai Kanna. Like that it goes on. So he is saying, you are standing on the hilltop, your name is Tirupati Balaji, Venkateshwara. You are standing in the top. And standing there, you are blessing the whole world. And you are giving everybody everything, whatever they may want. Somebody wants small things, somebody wants big things, somebody wants moksha, somebody wants to come back to your abode. Whatever all jivas are asking, you are capable of bestowing all of them. So, because you are standing and offering everything, what will we ask? Just like, for example, the children, even without asking, the parents provide them everything. If the children have to wear a mask, they don't have to ask the parents. The parents are getting ready to come to Bombay. Immediately there is mask ready, there is dress ready, there is shoe ready, socks ready, dress ready, sweater ready. Everything is made, arrangement is made for the children. Like that you are arranging everything for me, then what can I ask you? You are asking me, what do you want? How can I ask you anything? There is nothing to ask, because you are providing more than what I can ask you. Something similar our Prithu Maharaj is also saying in 4th canto. When Lord Vishnu asked him, what do you want? So Prithu Maharaj said, I am afraid to ask you, he says, anything. Can any of you guess why he is afraid to ask the Lord anything? See, if Krishna comes in front of you, today, the New Year day, today is first, no? Yes. And he comes and suddenly, he gives darshan. And he is asking you, what do you want? Tell me, I'll give you. Immediately tell me what you will ask. Let us ask. What will you ask yourself? What's your good name, boy? Om. Om, what you will ask him? If Krishna suddenly comes in front of you, today, New Year day, he says, because New Year has come, I have come to give you something. What do you want? Yeah, you want to think. Yeah, anybody else? You will ask something or not?
Yeah, we'll ask you.
What will you ask?
Association of devotees.
How amazing. That you already have now. So many devotees are with you. Anybody else will ask for anything? She will ask for strength. Okay. So she will ask for strength to face all challenges in life, correct now? Very good. Good point, yeah. Anybody else?
Qualification to enter Goloka.
Okay, please give me the qualification to enter Goloka Vrindavan. Very good, very good. Anybody else? Oh, you will ask Krishna Prema, you will ask. Very good.
Eternal service.
Eternal service. That's even more great. Wonderful, very good. So, what Prithu Maharaj told him, very intelligently, he told him that I have many things in my mind to ask you, but I will not ask you. Why? Because sometimes we ask something and get into trouble. Sometimes we ask for something and we can get into trouble. For example, one boy told me that he went to somebody to give a feedback with good intention. But after giving feedback, he had to sit with that other person for 4 hours. Other person told him how this feedback was a wrong feedback. He said, Prabhuji, it was a foolish part on my part. I had examination next day. By mistake, I went and gave him feedback, and 4 hours I lost. So this is called purchasing trouble. Correct, no? So we all have experience. Sometimes we say something by the slip of the mouth and then we get into trouble. I didn't actually intend to tell you this. I said this. Please don't get me wrong and all that. So much hours and hours goes both sides, people speaking. So therefore, he was telling that, so just now they have joined Murli Gopinath Prabhu? Okay. Actually, there is another group of devotees joining from Hyderabad. Vaishnav Shambhu, they are able to hear me? So, I think they are muted, I think. So he asked a very, very intelligent thing, Prithu Maharaj. You know what he told? My dear Lord, you are like a father and I am like your son. A father knows best what is best for the son. So whatever you think is good for me, you can give me. Like that he said. Because will parents give anything to children which will harm the children? No, they cannot. They can never give. Parents will always... See, the world is full of exploitation outside. We all know that. But the child is most safe in parents' custody. So therefore, he very intelligently told like this. You are like my father. Whatever you think will do good for me, that you give me, he said. Actually, this is a very, very loaded answer because each of us, in our own situation, we need different things. Because according to our advancement, we need what will be good for us. Just like, for example, a newborn baby requires Cerelac, isn't it? When you grow a little bit, then you have different type of food. Then when you grow up beyond 10 or 12 or 15, then you need a different type of food. The Lord knows what is best for us. So you all can hear me? Sound is coming? Sound is coming? So, Murli Gopinath Prabhu and all the mentors who have assembled today for the new year, I am supposed to speak 2 to 2:20. You can hear me well? Okay, Mataji, okay, thank you. So, you all have assembled today for the 1st January, the New Year Day program with all your mentors and advisory board, senior ladies also. So, I appreciate you all for coming together because my spiritual master used to say that when devotees come together and chant, come together and take prasad, come together and dance and kirtan, come together and be with each other and spend time with one another, then that will lead to Priti Lakshana. That is, once a brahmachari asked my Guru Maharaj, what is the way that we can develop sympathy towards devotees and affection for devotees? Because sometimes we may quarrel with devotees also. But how can we develop sympathy for devotees and affection for devotees? So he said, the only secret is to come together. So, you all are coming together, it's a very wonderful thing. So, in the beginning of my talk today, I was telling about 2 types of avalok. What are the 2 avaloks I told you? Simhavalok and Vihangavalok I told you. So, Simhavalok means when a lion is running in the forest, it wants to check its pace. How much distance have I covered and how much distance is pending while running after the prey. Similarly, in spiritual life also, we all want to go from Bhuloka to Goloka. So, we have to see our pace in spiritual life. Year after year, am I becoming a better devotee or am I degrading in my life? That is also possible, correct, no? Sometimes we also can see my interest is increasing in coming in the Sangha of devotees. My interest is increasing, my sincerity is increasing, I am becoming more serious, I am very happy. Happy with Krishna conscious activities and not happy with useless activities. Then we are progressing. Otherwise, years are passing, I am not becoming serious. So that is called Simhavalok. And Vihangavalok is actually a bird's eye view of everything that we are doing in life. That's a bird's eye view of the whole life, snapshot of whole life. So generally, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Ekadashi should take survey, but at least once in a year we can think of also. The beginning of a year, anything you begin, you should do. It's like a new beginning. New means what? We can do the coming year the same way we spent the previous year. Or we can do something, we can make something special. Correct? So you want this year to be ordinary year or a special year? Special year. Just like you say, you like ordinary dosa or special dosa. Correct? You like ordinary ice cream or vanilla ice cream. So something is special, it is attractive, correct? So then how our year can become special? That's why we are going to talk from Kunti's prayers. I was telling a few things from Kunti's prayer. I'll share with you something very interesting she speaks about. So one of the first things I told you is the Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I told you that the things we should take survey of is the first 4 slokas of Nectar of Instruction. Totally there are around 24 items. So enough homework he has given us. If you see those items, one amazing phenomenon we all will find, in those 24 items, the mistakes we commit will be repetitive. And the good things we do also will be repetitive. So what we have to do, in the mistakes we commit which are repetitive, we should try to find out the solution to them. Like somebody becomes angry regularly, time to time. Or somebody overeats regularly. They have the similar type of habit. And somebody has tendency to do prajalpa regularly. After doing prajalpa, useless talk for a long time, then they lament. Oh, I wasted my time. So much time is gone. Sometimes people keep talking, and then they realize suddenly, oh, I lost a lot of time. So we can actually write down what are the things repetitively happening in my life, which I need to reform. And the good things also may be repetitive. For example, you may be enthusiastic, but you may not be patient. Correct, no? So I need to cultivate patience. Then you study about patience. Like there was one eagle who was a brother of Jatayu, What was his name? Sampati, Sampati. So Sampati speaks in Ramayana that he was once flying up. Both were going, Jatayu and him, both brothers were flying up. And they went up in the sunlight. And then the sun was very hot. Jatayu was feeling like fainting. So Sampati went above him and gave him shade. And the result of that was his wings were burned. So then both of them came dropping down. Jatayu was saved, but then Sampati's wings were burnt and he became wingless. Then he thought, what's the use of my life? Let me commit suicide, like that he thought. Without wings, what can the eagle be? But then one good thing happened to him. When he fell in one mountain range, there was a Nishakara Muni. So Nishakara Muni told him that, you see, don't lose your life. If you just be patient, it will take a long time, but definitely your wings will grow back. So he asked when. He said, that I cannot tell you exactly when. Whenever some Vanaras will come here and you will tell them some good information, some good news to them when you give, at that time your wings will grow. Like that he said. So he didn't know when is it going to be. There's uncertainty. Still he persisted. Can you guess how many years he waited in that mountain area? He had one son called Vrishaparva who would bring, one son used to bring some food for him every day. He was living in that cave. Can you guess how long he was waiting? He was waiting in that Treta Yuga, he was waiting 8,000 years. And he was actually almost losing patience. I'm not getting the wings at all. And then the Vanaras came there. So he told, at that time he says something very interesting. When you cannot serve the Lord with your wings and with your hands and legs, when you don't have them, you can better serve him with your mouth, he says. So I will tell you the truth about Sita. So he tells the Vanaras that, I can see with my telescopic eyes, in Lanka, on the top of the mountain, there is a golden city, and there resides Ravana, and Sita has been taken there only. As soon as he said it, the wings started growing, because he spoke that important truth to the Vanaras. So the wings. But the point about this Sampati is his patience. His patience. Same thing with Matanga Rishi's disciple. Her name is Shabari. Actually, Shabari was a young girl. She was just 8-year-old. One day, this 8-year-old girl was walking in that area where the Rishis and Munis will be living. Their hermitages would be there. So when she was passing, she asked many of the Rishis that you all are sitting under the trees and doing meditation. Can you teach me also? I am also spiritually inclined. So they looked at her and thought, little child, what can she learn? This Ashtanga Yoga. They just laughed it off, they went away. But then she went to one particular ashrama. Outside there were some trees. And the plants and trees were producing a particular type of flower which was very fragrant. It was spreading fragrance all around. So then she saw the disciples of the Rishi coming out. So she asked them, can you please tell me why this ashrama trees are so fragrant? Nobody I found in this locality in Nasik like this. So they said, you want to know the truth? You see, our senior devotees living in this ashrama, they were so sacrificing in nature. For the sake of Guru, they were putting the sweat and toil. And their sweat fell in this ashrama just outside. And by the Guru's blessings, this tree has grown, and that is why the flowers are so fragrant. And then she understood, if the disciples are so advanced, I want to meet the Guru, she said. And who was the Guru? Matanga Rishi. He was the Guru. So she met the Guru and offered obeisances. And he was one who didn't deny. He told her, okay, I'll teach you. So you are also a little girl, you are very interested. So he taught her how to do Ashtanga Yoga, and the goal of Ashtanga Yoga is to meditate on Lord Vishnu. All that he taught her. So right from that age she was doing. And then he also gave her one blessing for her sincerity. That you will definitely see Lord Ramachandra, who is Bhagavan, who has descended in this world. Before you leave the body, it may take a long time, but you will definitely see him. She was given the blessings. And guess how long she had to wait? She was 90 plus. 90 plus. Actually, Guru had also left for the spiritual abode. So many of those rishis had left their bodies and they had gone back to Vaikuntha. So she was thinking that I am all alone here. And she was still doing Guru Seva in this world. And then when Lord Rama came, you all know that when Ram came with Lakshman, Rama accepted that beer, which Shabari tasted and gave. She wanted to ensure that it is all tasty, not sour or something. That is the time he accepted. So she is another example of patience. Correct, no? So in our life, any quality we want to become inspired by, all we need to do is turn to the scriptures and read the examples and get inspired like that. So this is what I was telling in the beginning, that you write down, how your spiritual life has been, every 2 weeks. Then I was telling you about the last year and this year. Our life book is like a 100 chapter book, and each chapter has how many pages? I said 365, which means like 1 year, isn't it? So anybody can tell me, how do we write the book? With what pen do we write, and how is our book filled? With legible handwriting or illegible handwriting? See, legible handwriting means good behavior, correct, no? All that. So illegible. So how can you say that our life book is filled with illegible? What do we fill it up with? Anybody? Experiences?
Good or bad karma?
Good karma we do, bad karma we do. Correct. Karma means activity. Anything else? Speech also. We fill it up with our speeches. Good speech or harsh speech. Correct, no? Bad speech, yeah? Next day target. Yeah, of course we plan for the next day. But how the book gets filled, if you see each chapter represents 1 year. Like our 2021 is over now. So one chapter is over. Now new chapter we have started now, today. New Year Day, correct? So this chapter has how many pages? 365. So it's blank now. So right now all of you are, half a day you have filled up your. So how did you fill up half a day? You are actually filling it up with 3 things. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. You are doing activity. Kaya, Vacha, Manasa. See, Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, Pravritti, Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, Nivritti. 2 things are there. For example, now, say morning Mangalarti you are attending. So with your body you are attending. So Kaya also. And with your mind also you are meditating on Krishna. Manasa also. And Vacha you are singing Mangalarti. That means Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, Pravritti. It is. And like the Andal Tirupavai, she is saying in her song that, Neyunnam Palunam Natkal Ninadi, Mayitradum, Malarita Namudiyum. Sayyadana Sayyam. She says that we will take a vow that we will not talk ill of anybody. That is called as Vacha Nivritti. Is it clear? Vacha means speech. And we will not talk ill of anybody means we will not talk ill of vacha and everything. And in our mind also, we will not think of doing any ill to anybody. That is what? That's manasa and everything. That is manasa and everything. So there is vacha and everything means not speaking ill, not doing rumor mongering and all that. And manasa and everything means not thinking ill of anybody also. Not thinking anything inauspicious for anybody. Like that is saying. So in this way our book is being filled up with Kaya, Vacha, Manasa, Pravritti, Nivritti only. And that is what we are filling up the chapters of this life book. So, therefore, then I was telling you about Kunti Maharani's prayer. One of the first prayer, one of the prayers she is saying, one quality we can learn from her is humility. So I told that verse, Tata Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidanartam Katam Pashye Mahistriyah. She's telling, oh Krishna, you are only knowable to rishis and munis whose hearts are completely pure. And they are constantly remembering your name, form, qualities, pastimes. And she's saying, we are women. As women, how can we understand you, your tattva about you? How can we comprehend you? Katam pashyami histriyah, that is she's saying, I am a woman. So, generally, you find, modern day, many of the educated women compete with men, many times. They consider themselves equal to man. So, they say that, you are a computer science engineer, we are also computer science engineer. We are getting equally educated also. And you are placed in IT job, we are placed in an IT job also. So, in what way are we lesser? There are some people argue like that. But Kunti Maharani didn't argue like that. What she is saying? Kadam Pashyama Histriya. So Prabhupada named that chapter as most intelligent woman. What is it? Most intelligent woman. So I was amazed when I saw the title. That means one who is humble is most intelligent. That's what you should conclude. Whether you are a man or a woman. One who is humble is most intelligent. Like a tree laden with fruits always will bend down. A tree which has no fruits like Ashoka tree will stand erect. Have you ever seen Ashoka tree bending? It will always stand erect because no fruits, no flowers. On the other hand, a mango tree having lot of fruits due to the weight of the fruits, it will bend down. Which means Vidya Vinayena Shobhate, it is said. So when one is truly learned, they will always be humble. They will not be proud. That's one lesson we can learn. So that means Kunti is truly learned or she is not learned? What do you think? She is very learned. She is very learned. Such amazing prayers she is offering. Nevertheless, she is very humble. She thinks others are greater than her. She is not as great as others. So, one pastime comes to my mind. In South India, arrived one very great Digvijay Pandit. And he was actually taking certificates from big scholars all across the country. So he arrived on the back of an elephant. And when he entered the village, all the Panditas, they all went on hiding. Nobody wanted to show their face. But this Pandita who came, he was laughing. There is nobody to match my intelligence. But one small kid, one small boy, he came in the front and said, see, none of the Panditas are ready to meet you. So you have no combat in our village. Therefore, I decided that I will ask you some questions. So when he said this, the Pandit was feeling insulted. It's an insult for me to even have a dialogue with a boy like you, such a tiny tot. But nevertheless, because you are saying that you want to ask me some question, let me see what kind of question you want to ask me. Okay, go ahead. The boy immediately bowed down, picked up sand in his hand like this and closed the hand. And then he told him, can you tell me how many sand particles are in my hand? He asked. So nobody had ever asked him such a question. How many sand particles are in my hand? Pandita was bewildered what to say. He said, how can I say that? I can't say that. Then the boy challenged him. He asked him, you only told me that there is nothing on the planet which you don't know, under the sun. Don't you know this? I am asking such a simple question. And Pandita was like flabbergasted by the boy's intelligence. And then the boy told him, see, there is only one person who is all-knowing. Who is it? Krishna. God is all-knowing. But if anybody else claims, you don't even know how many hairs are on your head. See, I can say there's no hair. But if other fellows who have hair on the head, if somebody asks you how many hairs you have in your head, can you say that? I am not asking in somebody else's body. Whose body I am asking? Your own body. You can't even say that. So if you observe our body, many things are happening in our body which we are not controlling. Like how many of you know the baby tooth falls off and the new permanent tooth comes? You don't even know when it happens. It has happened to all of us, all the 32 teeth if you see, isn't it? When you put the morsel of food in the belly, you don't know what happens inside. It mixes with gastric juice, turns into blood, and then blood goes to heart, it is pumped all over the body. We only know the theory, but we don't have much experience of it. So, therefore the boy told him, my dear sir, it is only Krishna or God who is all-knowing. So you claim to be all-knowing, now you have proven that you don't know this simple thing. And then the boy told him, if you think you are all-knowing, you assume yourself like that. And you are so proud. Such proud people's brain is like this palm full of sand. It is no better than that. Like that he said. Immediately that Pandita got down and fell at the feet of the boy. And the boy went on to become Vedanta Desika. A very great Vaishnava devotee. So, in this way you will find the humility. I told you Kunti was humble and the Digvijay Pandit is just the opposite. He was extremely proud. You can see that. So, this is one thing that is worthy of cultivating. Very good quality. Even if you know, we always should think that I don't know. It is always good for me to be open to learning. You must have heard Steve Jobs wrote a book, stay hungry, stay foolish. Actually, if you think I am foolish, it's always good for me to learn from others. Somebody may give some new direction or new pointers for me to learn. Those people who are open in the mood of learning, they are the ones who learn. Those people who never become satisfied, I know everything, they are hungry people. They can only learn. So Kunti is teaching that. She knows everything. Still she is saying, Katham Pashyema Histriya. Another wonderful quality you learn from Kunti is her gratitude. Actually, unfortunately, our mind forgets the favors we have received from others. And mind only thinks about what we don't have, what others have. Very surprising mind, isn't it? She has that and he has that and I don't have this. When will I get that? Actually, we don't think about the question that whatever Krishna has given me, am I using them well? We don't ask. We only think about what I don't have. One thing is we tend to forget what we have and keep looking at others what they have. That's one thing. Another thing is we forget the favors we have received. So, therefore, she is giving a long list of favors she has received. You saved my son Bhima from poison, which Duryodhana gave. Like that, she gives long list. The Varnavat Lakshagraha, they were saved from the fire. Like that, she is saying. They were saved from Visha also, Visha and Mahagne, Purushada Darshana, in the forest from the Rakshasas. Their wife Draupadi was saved from, Manabhanga. So like that she is giving a list. Now she is saying that now the Ashwatthama has sent a Brahmastra to kill the last child of the Pandavas. Who is he? Parikshit, yeah. So again you are here for us. That means Krishna, you are always available for us. You are never away from us. As soon as there is a danger, immediately you are there to protect us. Like that she is telling. So she is very, very grateful for Krishna's support, Krishna's availability, Krishna's shelter. Krishna is called Bhakta Vatsala Govinda. Prabhupada says that at that time, the Kurukshetra battlefield was almost over, but not, officially speaking, it was not over. Because on that side, Duryodhana was still alive. He was almost dying, leaving the body. And also, Ashwatthama was on the other side also. War was almost over. But officially, since it wasn't over, Krishna is not supposed to lift any weapons. But Krishna saw two Brahmastras coming, flying. One aimed at the 5 Pandavas, another one aimed at the last Shishu, Parikshit. Both would have been finished in a moment. At that time, Krishna took his chakra. He cancelled one of the Brahmastras. And for the other Brahmastra, he himself entered into the womb of Uttara. At that time, Kunti was watching all this. How Krishna nullified the Brahmastra, one of them, and the other Brahmastra, Krishna expanded himself into the womb of Uttara. Therefore, she is telling, you are existing outside, you are existing inside. She is telling that, I can keep here. She was telling that you are also existing in the chariot and you are also inside the womb of Uttara also. So what an amazing thing. And in a moment you nullified the Brahmastra. Pandavas were slowly lifting the weapons. They were too late. Actually, before Pandavas could lift the weapon, the Brahmastra had already approached. But Krishna acted very swiftly. So therefore she was telling that you have been always there for us, protecting us. And she was expressing gratitude. So in our lives also, we have to become, we have to activate our gratitude avenue of our heart. Because a grateful heart and a humble heart is very conducive for, it's actually, we can say, not only conducive, it is source of all good qualities. Gratitude is like the fuel in spiritual life. Like, Srila Prabhupada was very grateful to his spiritual master, who in the very first meeting elevated him from Desh Prem to Krishna Prem. First one meeting. Because at that time Prabhupada was a Gandhian. He had gone with a khadi dress and everything. Prabhupada refused the degree in the college. He wore a khadi dress. In those days, if you are wearing khadi dress, that means you are a serious Gandhian. If you are wearing khadi dress, you reject the college degree. He was such a serious practitioner of Gandhi. And then Prabhupada also presented that, I also like Lord Chaitanya's message, but this is not the right time, he said. Because India is under foreign rule. It's better that we first make India free, then we can preach, like that he said. But his Guru, very short time, actually his Guru said many things, but I'll tell you one or two things what Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, very important things. He said, even if a country produces a doctorate, they will produce a bomb, the government will tell them to produce a bomb to drop in the neighborhood country. The neighborhood country will similarly produce another doctorate and they will make a bomb for this country. That means the topmost education also keeps the people like animals only. Animal propensity is not changed. Whereas he said, as far as Lord Chaitanya's movement is concerned, it's a merciful movement, a compassionate movement, which made even the animals become like angels. Like tiger and deer were dancing together in the forest of Jharikanda. The elephants were roaring Hare Krishna when Lord Chaitanya sprinkled water on them. So like that he said, so when Prabhupada heard it, his heart melted actually. On that day he said, when I was coming down the steps, in my heart I accepted him as my spiritual master, he said. And then he said, I am also very happy that message of Lord Chaitanya is in the right hands. So on that day his Guru told him, there is never a moment in the past or in future which can be as compassionate as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's moment, he said. Actually Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, teaches the jivas to become Vaishnava. Vaishnava is the most harmless species, he said. Most harmless species. They won't even harm an ant also. Like in one country abroad, one envious man reported to our mayor, these Hare Krishna people are every day going on the road. Some 20-25 of them dancing and making noise and everything. They're disturbing the public. So the mayor watched from the top and he saw the devotees singing and dancing, distributing prasad, distributing books. And then he was so happy with that. He said, hey, they are adding color to our city. So then he gave official permission. Please do this procession every day. Like that. So, same thing happened in our Rath Yatra in San Francisco. First Rath Yatra happened. Big number of policemen were deputed to control the mob. But the policemen also walked with the Rath Yatra from beginning to end. And later on they reported to police officers that there was nothing to control. These fellows are such perfect gentlemen and ladies. They are so calm, cool, and on the other hand, they are doing good to the people. They are giving prasad to people. They walk. It is not like some college strike or something, or company strike, they said. So you can see, this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. It produces most harmless species. So when his Guru spoke like this, Prabhupada was immediately convinced. Prabhupada said, on that one meeting, he went from Desh Prem to Krishna Prem. And he became convinced that Krishna consciousness is the emergency. Now we want to reach it all over the world. He was very convinced about that. Correct, no? So, and he became very grateful to Guru. And Prabhupada, later on when he went to America also, he said, if it was not for my spiritual master, I won't be able to do this good work. On the day of Bhaksan Thakur's appearance, Prabhupada says, this movement is taking shape all over the world, not by my potency or my power or my intelligence. It's all my Guru Maharaj's blessing. I am only his servant. I am only his postal peon. That was his gratitude. And then he also gave gratitude to one more category of people. He said, you American boys and girls, if it was without you, this movement would have never taken shape. I see all of you as mercy manifestations of my spiritual master. So this was his very grateful heart. Grateful heart is a golden heart. So Kunti Maharani has gratitude. First I told you she has humility. Then I told you she has gratitude. Then you also find in Kunti Maharani the dependence on Krishna. Actually, in the modern day society, it makes people very arrogant and very overconfident. Actually, overconfidence and arrogance is very foolish. Actually, like the overconfident rabbit slept off, you know that? And who won the match? Rabbit or the tortoise? Tortoise, because the overconfident rabbit became, he became careless. Overconfidence leads to carelessness. In the modern day society, we find people after becoming educated in engineering or medicine or chartered accountancy, people become very boastful of themselves. Actually, they don't know the goal of education. Anybody can tell me what's the goal of education? Goal of all education. What should education do? There are 4 or 5 things you can say. Let us say anyone. Okay, knowledge. What knowledge we should get by goal of education?
To love God.
Okay, to love God is a very advanced thing, and that's the ultimate goal actually. Yeah. Yes? To live properly. To lead a proper life. Okay. Okay, to be humble in life, to lead a proper life. So to lead a proper life is also elaborated more. For example, a man should see all women either as his mother or like his daughter. A woman should see all men who are superior to her like her father, or men who are younger to her like a son. This is a proper vision. Chanakya says that. And one should never take others' money. You should not put your hand in others' pocket, he says. As if it is a garbage dump, he says. Will anybody put a hand in garbage dump? Like that, you should not touch others' money, he says. And one should treat others as you want to be treated. Like that, he says. Like, on a hot sunny day, you go to somebody's house, say they give you a chill lemon juice. How do you like it? And you should do the same thing if they come to you. And actually, we should speak to others sweet words as whatever sweet words we will want to hear from them. Correct, no? Because sweet words cost nothing. It is said, isn't it? So, in this way, he says this is how we should live. But there are also many other things. Goal of education is heart transformation. That's the goal of education. Like a selfish person should become selfless person. Correct, no? An arrogant person should become humble person. Isn't it? A blaming person should become responsible person instead of blaming others. Is it not? A cruel person should become compassionate person. Correct, no? Yeah. Similarly, a proud person should become humble. Similarly, a person who loses temper very easily and becomes angry, he should become more tolerant. A restless person should become a patient person. So these are all heart changes. So the education, the goal of education is what? Heart transformation. This is one of the goals. Another goal of education is character. What is character? There are many aspects of character. One of the first aspects is integrity. Integrity means to speak the truth and keep the promise. And maturity means to listen to others as much as we are eager to speak our opinion. And another one is abundance mentality and non-envy. Prayer and purity, service and simplicity. All this comes in character actually. So development of character, I think that's what you said as one should live life properly, correct? No? Development of character, heart transformation, bringing out what is already within you, that's education. Educare means bring out what is already within you. But modern education is far from that, if you see. It is more profuse information. No. I'm completing in another 5-10 minutes, yeah. So, I was telling you one quality I was about to tell you now about Kunti. Which one?
Dependence.
Dependence. You are right, dependence, correct. Dependence. Only 3 qualities I am planning to speak. There are many, but these 3 are very important. One I told you on humility. Second one? Gratitude, yeah. And the third one is dependence. Prabhupada writes that Pancha Pandavas were very, very talented. They were world champions. You can say gold medalists of that times. Like you can tell me, what was Yudhishthira Maharaj good in? Anybody knows? Javelin throwing. He was good in javelin throwing. And Bhima was good in? Wrestling with the mace. And Arjuna was good in? Arrow shooting, yeah. And Nakula was good in? Nakula and Sahadev both are good in sport fighting. But also Nakula was strategy planner. Astrologer also. And Sahadeva was also knowing the language of animals and birds. He could decode also. So they were talented like this. So you can see that although they are extremely talented and they were world champions in it, they were never proud. They were depending on Krishna's mercy, he says. Now you may wonder, why should they depend on Lord's mercy? They were themselves so skilled. Because in this world, skill alone cannot make you great. Many, many skilled people have come and gone in this world. They knew that just like these lights, if you see, if I switch on the light, it will be on. If I switch it off, it will be off. So it appears that control is in whose hands? Our hands. But when the electricity board does the power shut down, our switching on has no meaning. Similarly, without God's sanction, our control is very limited. Like we say, even a blade of grass cannot move without His sanction. And this is recognized by all great leaders. You will find Prithu Maharaj is saying, one verse I'll tell you. Aham dandadaro raja prajanam niyojitaha. He says, oh dear Praja, I am actually made a king by Lord's grace, like it is telling. So Prabhupada says, nobody can be made Prime Minister of a country if Krishna's grace is not there. Nobody can occupy any leadership positions. Anybody who is occupying leadership positions are made leader by whom? By Krishna's sanction, like that he says. So the Pandavas knew that either we will be rulers of the whole world or we will be living in the forest for all life. And both are dependent on whom? Krishna. They were fully convinced. Similarly, the nature, she is telling, this is one first thing I told you, becoming kings. Dependence on Krishna for taking any leadership. That was first thing. And actually Krishna, she told Krishna that, my dear Krishna, you are going away to Dwaraka. Without you, we are feeling something very seriously missing. If you go away, she was looking at Hastinapuram and telling, look at this Hastinapuram ground. Your footprints are glowing, she said. Neyam sovishyate tatra yadedanim gadadara swapadai bhati swalakshana vilakshita. Beautiful verse. She's telling each of these footprints have 16 symbols in them. Each symbol has a great meaning. Like one symbol I'll tell you, the thunderbolt, or a lotus, or an umbrella, or a fish. Like that there are 16 symbols. Each symbol has one deep meaning. The thunderbolt shows that Krishna shatters the sinful mountain of deeds of the devotees' reactions of the past and makes the mountain into powder. That's the meaning of thunderbolt. So like that she says that every footprint of you is glowing here. Now when you go to Dwaraka, there will be no more footprints. And then our bhumi will be bereft of your lotus footprints. And auspiciousness will not be there without you. And Krishna told her, what about Yadus and I can send you some Yadu, like our Pradyumna or Aniruddha. And you also have your Pandavas. They will make this land very special. At that time she told him, one beautiful verse. Kevayam nama rupabhyam yadubihi sakha pandava bhavato adarshanam yarhi rishikanam iveshatu. She's telling, my Pandavas and Yadus are like lifeless bodies without you, she's saying. Lifeless bodies means what? Dead body without you. So this is the meaning of dependence on Krishna, correct now? Like you can see the small children, they depend on the parents, right now? They are totally dependent on the parents. On the contrary, you find, those who are grown up adults, when they become self-reliant, that tender dependence goes away, correct now? You can see that. And then they become 15, then become 20 and become 25. Therefore, the bhakta actually means dependent on the Lord. So one thing is about leadership, dependence for leadership, and the second one is dependence for auspiciousness. And the third one, she is talking about dependence for all the prosperity in our life. Like she is looking at the nature and the gardens are blooming, flowers, and the trees are laden with ripened fruits. The trees are full of water, cows' udders are full of milk, and the Prakriti is lushy green. And she is looking at just like Vada we see here, isn't it? So when she saw that, she said, because of Tava Vikshitahi, your glance has made this thing so prosperous. And if you go away and you don't glance at the nature, she will not smile the way she is smiling very happily now. She is telling. So in our life also, for our prosperity in the coming year, new year, prosperity in our life, that's material prosperity, spiritual prosperity, and also occupying any leadership position or responsibility, and also for all the auspicious engagements that can come in our life. For all these things, we are totally dependent on Him. So what is the meaning of dependent on Him? Actually, we have to sincerely act in a way that will please Him. If He is pleased, then He will reciprocate. One simple example I'll tell you. One boy was joining an IT company. On the first day when they chose him, they said, hey, we have chosen you. Will you surely join? You will have to join in a couple of weeks, they told him. He said, I'm surely joining, sir, but please tell me a little more about my job. Then they told him, how much will I earn? They said, you will get 20K to begin with. It's a training period. Then when you will place me properly, they said, after 6 months of your performance, we will see. Then we can place you properly. Then how much will I get? What will be my post and all? He asked. GET, you will get 35,000 or something, they said. Then he asked, when will be the next promotion? They said, after 5 years, probably you can become a team lead or something. How much will you give me that time? They said, maybe that time you may get about 75,000-80,000 you may get. Then when will be the next promotion subsequently? They said, that will be a project lead. That may take 8-10 years, they said. How much will be that salary? That may be 1 or 1.2, 1.5. After that, they said, wait a minute, first you do something. They said, you have not even joined. Before that you are thinking about higher and higher and higher. They said like that, do something. They told him like that. So now you will see when you join a company also, who should be pleased by you? Boss. See, you don't have to ask the boss, will you promote me or not? Your focus should be on pleasing the boss or promotion. Yeah. And who will take care of promotion? So our boss is Krishna. Very simple. We have to make an effort to please. We have to act in a way. We cannot trick him also. See, in company boss, you can trick also to some degree. Like for example, some boys, they hang around till 9:30. And the boss is about to leave the company, they'll quickly go and stand in the front and they'll be smiling. And the boss will say, hey, you are still here till 9:30, 10, very good boy. You are serving, you are doing very well. So he wants the boss to take note that he is staying late. Correct, no? So boss will take note. So why is he doing that? To please the boss. Of course, I won't say please boss, to impress boss. Impress is a better word, no? Yeah. So he's impressing the boss. Now why he wants to impress the boss? Promotion. That is the point. That's point. He knows. Prabhuji knows. Yes, he wants promotion. Correct, no? Yeah. So everybody does. Yeah.
My office staff stays at 9. That's why I know.
Correct. Yeah, correct. If the boss leaves at 7, he will also leave at 7. The whole idea is he knows very well the promotion will come from this fellow only. He will do that. So you will find that even in material life, we all know it very well. You have somebody to please. If you please that person, then if you please him, then you are peaceful. The husbands know, if I please the wife, I will be peaceful. Otherwise, there can be, sometimes the husband does Rudra Tandav, sometimes the wife does Bhadrakali Tandav. Both Tandav. So they both know very well that the spouse is peaceful, the whole family is peaceful. You all agree?
Yes.
Correct me, yeah. So we all know actually. Similarly, children know very well, I have to bring good grades. Otherwise, my Lord, I have to show my progress report to mother and father. So everybody in this world has to please somebody. Then why not please Krishna? That's the point. Otherwise, we will have to be born again and again in this world to please somebody in this world. So, therefore, we can see that Kuntimanan is telling that we all are dependent. We are not independent. We are totally dependent on Krishna. So those three verses, 37, 38, 39, 40 verses are very, very beautiful verses. I'll conclude with that verse. Ime jana pada sruddhaha supakpaushadi virudaha vanadrinadi udanvanto hedante tabavikshitaihi. So Krishna's glance is very, very merciful glance. His glance is so powerful that the dead covered boys in the bank of Yamuna during Kaliya's occupying the Yamuna time, that time they had become dead. By Krishna's glance they became alive. So Krishna's glance is so powerful. Which means even a jiva who has forgotten Krishna for many lifetimes, if the glance comes upon that jiva can wake up in Krishna consciousness. That's the actual meaning. So we all can become woken up in our Krishna consciousness in this year, 2022. New year has started now. So let this new year be a very auspicious year for us. Let us practice humility. Let us practice gratitude to Krishna, humble in front of Krishna and devotees. Let us practice dependence on Krishna. Our prosperity, our any leadership opportunities or prosperity or auspiciousness, all these things are made possible by Krishna's sanction when He is pleased with us. So let us make humble and sincere efforts to please Him by in this 1 year and make this year better than last year. You want a bitter year or a better year? Better year. So let us make it better. So we have the chance, we have the opportunity. And 1st January, everybody wants something new, something fresh. So now you got a fresh year opportunity given for you, in front of you. So we have to actually emulate the model of great characters like our Kunti Maharani and Prithu Maharaj. I was telling you from Srimad Bhagavatam, because these are role models for us. We have to follow in their footsteps. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you very much.